Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly, without a single word spoken, felt a fire in the air? A kind of pull between you and someone else. You don't know where it came from. But every glance, every pause, every accidentaltic feels electric. That, my friend, isn't just attraction. It's something deeper. Something most people never fully understand. It's called sexual tension. And it can be undeniable, thrilling, even confusing. But what if I told you there are specific psychological signs that prove it's real? That you're not just imagining things. Welcome back to Dark Psychology. I'm Amelia, and today I'm going to reveal the 15 strongest signs of sexual tension between two people, so you can finally decode those intense silent moments that drive you crazy. Because once you learn uncontrollable eye contact, these signals, you'll never misread chemistry again. So hit like, subscribe, and buckle up. Let's get into the first one. Sign number 1, awkward conversations, but not for the reason you think. Now, this one might surprise you. Awkwardness. That strange, jittery feeling you get when you're around her, and suddenly words just stop working. It's not because the vibe is off. It's because the emotional stakes are high. Your body knows it. Before your brain knows, you're emotionally exposed. Here's the truth. When two people have sexual tension, conversations can feel clumsy, even uncomfortable at first. Why? Because you're both overthinking everything. You start fumbling your words. She nervously tucks her hair behind her ear. You both laugh at the wrong moment, or not at all. And then comes the silence. But here's the twist. That silence doesn't feel empty. It feels charged. You're not just searching for something to say. You're both fighting the urge to feel too much. Too soon. Psychology insight. This kind of awkwardness often happens when sexual attraction collides with emotional vulnerability. It's your subconscious trying to navigate an unfamiliar but exciting subconscious mirroring connection. So don't run from the awkward pause. It might be the very sign that something deep is happening beneath surface. Sign number 2, eye contact. That feels like a confession. You're sitting across the room, maybe in a cafe, a meeting, or even at a friend's party. And then it happens. Your eyes lock. But this isn't just a casual glance. It lingers. She doesn't look away immediately. Neither do you. There's an entire conversation happening without a single word. That's when you know it's different. This kind of eye contact doesn't just signal interest. It activates desire. It's loaded with unspoken questions. Do you feel this too? Should we go there? Can we pretend we're just friends when our eyes say otherwise? Psychology says prolonged eye contact activates the amygdala, the part of the brain associated with emotional intensity and arousal. And when sexual tension exists, that eye contact becomes the gateway drug to fantasy. Want to take it further? Here's a tip. When she looks at you, hold the eye contact just a second longer than usual. Then glance at her lips, then back to your eyes and smile. If she mirrors that pattern or blushes, looks away with a lingering touch grin, you just tapped into a powerful loop of emotional and sexual charge. That's not a glance. That's a signal. Silent green light, sign number 3. The stare that says, I want you, without saying it. Eye contact is fleeting, but staring, that's a commitment. You're in the same room. She's across the table. You're talking to someone else, but out of nowhere, you feel her gaze on you. You look up, and she's watching you, not checking you out casually, not looking around the room, watching you. And it feels like the world has slowed down for a second. This is high-level sexual tension in motion. Staring is less about social etiquette and more about raw magnetism. She's not just looking at your face. She's mentally undressing layers of who you are. And if you're doing the same to her, you're caught in a feedback loop of desire. Even others in the room might start noticing. They won't say anything, but they'll sense it. The heat, the energy. Word of caution. Staring can become creepy if you don't balance it with moments of looking away, smiling, or blinking out of the trance. You're not trying to dominate. You're showing you're drawn in completely uncontrollably. When someone's stare holds your soul for longer than a few seconds, it's not just curiosity anymore. It's a connection. Sign number 4. You daydream about her more than you admit you're at work. You're trying to focus, but there she is in your head. And no, it's not always sexual. Sometimes you're just picturing her sitting next to you, laughing. Sometimes it's her voice playing in your mind like a familiar tune. Other times it's her lips, her skin, and things you're not brave enough to say out loud yet. Here's the truth. When you can't stop imagining little moments with her, like walking through a bookstore, sharing a secret smile, or cooking together in a quiet kitchen, you're not just crushing, you're emotionally entangling. Psychologists call this lyrance, an involuntary state of intense desire where your brain literally creates fantasy scenarios about the person you're emotionally and sexually drawn to. And here's what makes it powerful. You don't control it. Your mind chooses her again and again. Even if you try not to, it's like she's renting space in your subconscious and paying in sparks. If her presence haunts your idle thoughts, that's not infatuation. That's sexual tension looking for a release. Sign number 5. The atmosphere shifts. When you're together, you know that moment. You walk into the same space, your eyes meet, and suddenly everything else disappears. The room is still full. People are laughing. Music is playing. But in that split second, it feels like the air between you two is electric. It's not just chemistry. It's a field of energy, like your bodies are picking up invisible frequencies only the two of you can hear. Your heart rate changes. You feel slightly lightheaded. The tension is so palpable, even your friends start noticing. They may joke, "Hey, something's going on there." But they're not wrong. There's a kind of teenage thrill to it. That nostalgic feeling when you liked someone so deeply in high school that your stomach would drop when they walked in. That's what real sexual tension does. It rewinds your emotional clock. It makes you feel alive, nervous, excited, and out of control all at once. Want to know if it's mutual? Watch her body language when you enter the room. If she straightens up, fixes her hair, or does her voice soften when she greets you, she feels it too. And if you're both pretending to act normal in a room that feels anything but normal, you've stepped into the atmosphere of desire. Sign number 6. You both flirt nonstop. It's like a dance. Every word, every look, every subtle move carries a playful edge. You tease her about her messy hair. She rolls her eyes and calls you a dork. You grin. She bites her lip out. It's not just flirting anymore. It's a loop of charged energy, like a tennis match of innuendos, sarcasm, and subtle sexual language. What most people don't realize is this. Flirting, when it's persistent and mutual, is not just a sign of interest. It's a controlled release of tension. You both are towing the line between friends and lovers, and neither of you wants to stop. You laugh harder, talk longer, and you always have one foot in the realm of what if. Neurologically, flirting increases dopamine levels in the brain. That's the reward chemical, the same one triggered by winning a game or falling in love. And the longer the flirtation continues, the more invested you both become, whether you admit it or not. Sign number 7. You both look great together, and there's notice. Maybe you're just walking side by side, and someone jokes, "Are y'all dating yet?" or what? It catches you off guard, but inside, it makes your heart skip because other people see. It chemistry, the closeness, the unspoken connection. Maybe she adjusts her style around you, wears that color you once complimented, adds a touch more perfume, brushes her hair a certain way, and I check the mirror twice before meeting her. It's unconscious. You're both trying to impress each other without saying it out loud. Even your friends start sensing it. They say things like, "You guys make a cute couple," or "There's something between you two." And they're not wrong, because when two people are syncing emotionally and physically, it shows even in the photos, even from across the room. Reminder, the world often sees what we try to hide. Sign the Verate. You smile all the time. Even when they're not around, you hear her name and your lips curl. She texts you a meme, and suddenly your day gets better. She walks in Therum, and you light up like someone flipped a switch inside you. This is deeper than attraction. This is your nervous system reacting to her presence. According to relationship science, smiling releases endorphins, natural chemicals that reduce stress and elevate mood. So, when you can't stop smiling around someone, you're associating them with joy. Even when she's not around, she lives in your expressions. You catch yourself smiling at a memory at a voice note. "By the way, she said your name last night." That? Smile. It's your body whispering, "She makes me feel alive." Want to know if it's mutual? Watch her face. If her smile widens when she sees you, if she laughs more, even at your bad jokes, you're not imagining the connection. You're both emotionally syncing. Sign number 9. You laugh a lot, more than usual. You're not just laughing because the joke was funny. You're laughing because of who said it. Her presence alone makes everything seem lighter. Even awkward moments turn into private jokes. Psychologists call this mirroring laughter. It's when two people emotionally sync and use laughter to bond on a deeper level. And guess what? That laughter triggers feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. You're literally getting emotionally high off each other's company. When you find yourself laughing more in their presence, even at silly things, even when others don't get it, that's not a coincidence. That's chemistry. Pro tip: if your friends start saying things like, "You're so different when she's around," that's a sign that tension is real and palpable. Sign number 10. You're hyper-aware of your facial expressions. Here's something most people never talk about. When you're around someone you're sexually attracted to, you start managing your face more. Then you realize you try not to frown. You keep that soft, charming smile going. You're more expressive, attentive, alert. It's all subconscious, but it's happening. She's talking, and you're nodding with just the right amount of seriousness. She cracks a joke, and your smirk is perfectly timed. Studies show that people in romantic tension adjust their expressions more often as a way of increasing likability and showing engagement. Your face becomes a silent flirtation tool. Bonus tip: if she's mirroring your expressions or lighting up when you smile, that's her nervous system saying, "I like this energy. I want more of it." Sign Duggar 11. You tease each other constantly. It starts small. You're such a nerd for liking that show. "Oh, really?" Coming from Simeon, who cried at a dog commercial. You laugh. She nudges you. And just like that, the tension rises. This isn't mockery. This is play fighting, emotional foreplay. Teasing is one of the oldest forms of romantic signaling. And if done right, it's a safe way to touch emotional boundaries without being too forward. Key insight: when teasing becomes habitual and rhythmic, it's no longer just friendly banter. It's a build-up of desire disguised as sarcasm. But here's the secret. Teasing is often a way to test emotional safety. If you both can joke, laugh, and still stay close, it shows deep mutual comfort and attraction. Signal 12. You dream about them day and night. Let's talk about what happens when they're not even around. You're making coffee, and suddenly picture them lying with you in the kitchen. You're trying to work, but your mind wanders to what it would feel like to just hold them. That's not random. Daydreaming is how your brain rehearses reality. It's a simulation of your deepest emotional desires. And when you're dreaming about them at night, when those dreams feel real, vivid, even intimate, that's your subconscious processing. A powerful emotional bond. You may wake up with your heart racing or even feel flushed. Bonus tip. If you've ever woken up from one of those dreams and felt a little sad because it wasn't real, that's your heart whispering, I want this. Sign number 13. You naturally gravitate with them. Let's say you're at a party. You walk in, you scan the room, and before you even realize it, you're standing right beside her. You didn't plan it. You weren't even trying to find her. It just happened. That's magnetic proximity. Your bodies are finding ways to close the gap between you, and it goes both ways. She might just happen to sit next to you. She laughs and leans toward you. Her leg brushes against yours. Again. These aren't coincidences. They're subconscious movements born from attraction. Pro tip. People experiencing sexual tension tend to mirror orientation and posture. You'll both face each other more often. Lean in and align your bodies without even noticing. Sign thumb 14. You get physically closer. Every time you touch this one is subtle but intense. She touches your arm during a story. You respond by stepping just a little closer. She notices and doesn't move away. In fact, the space between you keeps shrinking. It's almost like gravity. Each touch becomes permission for more closeness. Hair sweat is happening. Each touch is a psychological probe. She's asking, is this safe? And your reaction answers, yes, come closer. The real kicker, you didn't even realize how close you are until someone walks by and gives you that look. Yeah, they felt the tension too. Powerful sign. If your touch leads to eye contact, a smile, and then silence, that's an almost kiss moment. And in those moments, the air between you becomes electric. Have you ever been in a room full of people? Yet the only person you can feel is her. That magnetic closeness, that pulse-pounding awareness of her every move, that's not just desire. That's the silent storm of sexual tension. Sign number 15. You get butterflies around them. Not just the nervous kind. I'm talking about the rush of excitement that hits your chest when you see her name pop up. The flutter in your stomach when she walks into the room. That slight shake in your hands when you try to act cool around her. It's no tenacity. It's arousal chemistry. Biologically speaking, butterflies are caused by adrenaline surges linked to emotional anticipation. Your body is literally prepping for a meaningful interaction. And if she's feeling it too, you'll both start to fidget more. You'll both stammer a bit when talking. You'll laugh too much or not enough, because your nervous systems are dancing with one another. Pro tip. If you get butterflies after leaving. Her presence when you're alone and smiling at nothing, that's not a crush. That is rooted in emotional chemistry. Sign that you're 16. Her hugs last just a little longer. You hug people every day, but this hug, it lingers, it holds, it whispers. Things words never could. You wrap your arms around her, and she doesn't pull away. She exhales slowly against your chest. You feel her soften, just slightly, and the hug just stays. Why this matters? Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, is released through physical touch, especially during hugs that last longer than 6 seconds. It isn't just friendly contact. It's an emotional handshake between two nervous systems saying, I feel safe here. This feels right. I don't want this moment to end. Psychological hook. If she initiates the hug and pulls you tighter right before letting go, that's the moment she didn't want to lose you. Sign 17. You both feel home in the same space. You're not talking. You're not touching. You're just there sitting together, maybe watching something, maybe walking in silence. And yet it feels like the most connected moment of the day. That's called co-regulation. It's when two people's nervous systems sync up. Breathing slows. Tension eases. You feel calm but energized. This isn't lust. This is chemistry backed by emotional alignment. And guess what? Sexual tension lives here too. In the stillness, in the quiet, in the feeling of, I don't want to leave. Secret insight. When you can sit next to her in total silence and still feel the electricity, that's when you know. Dropa comment below. What's one small moment, a glance, a hug, a laugh that made you realize this isn't just attraction? This is something deeper. Sign, Jucker 18. You tease each other constantly, playfully, unapologetically. Teasing isn't just a joke. It's a dance, a flirtatious push and pull where y'all both say, I see you. I like you, but I'm going to make you work for it. You call her out for dropping her keys. She mocks the way you pronounce a word. You roll your eyes at her obsession with coffee. She nudges you for wearing that same lucky hoodie again. But under each tease, there's warmth, there's attention, there's desire. Psychologists refer to this as benign provocation, a form of safe emotional play that create tension, intrigue, and bonding. Real talk, teasing is intimacy wearing humor as a disguise. If you both keep doing it and smiling through it, there's no doubt there's fire under that surface. Sign Dasha 19. You dream about them and wake up wanting more. You close your eyes at night, and there she is. Semetamessenescent, sometimes intimate, sometimes the kind of dream that makes you wake up a little breathless. This isn't random. Dreams are where your subconscious works things out, where desire plays unfiltered. And when someone shows up in your dreams regularly, especially in emotionally charged ways, it's a neon sign from your inner world. You're drawn to her more than you admit. Even if that dream wasn't physical, maybe you were just holding hands or laughing together. The point is, your mind feels safe in it to bring her into your most private world. If you've dreamed of her, and she says she's dreamed of you too, that's no coincidence. That's chemistry echoing through both your subconscious minds. Sign your 20. You gravitate toward each other in crowded rooms. You're at a party. There's music, people, distractions. But somehow, without even realizing it, you've migrated toward her. Or she's found her way next to you. You sit closer, talk longer, find excuses to stay in the same conversation. It's like magnets, silent, invisible, but pulling. Your bodies are syncing. Your energy is orbiting each other. And here's the clincher. Even when others try to interrupt, neither of you really leaves. That's not politeness. That's an attractive, commanding presence. Scientific note, in body language studies, proximity is one of the clearest signs of emotional and sexual interest. You move where you feel safe, seen, and excited. Signed up 21. You respond to touch by leaning closer. She places her hand on your knee. Touch your wrist while laughing. Braces herself on your shoulder when standing up and without thinking. You lean in. You move closer. You respond with a touch of your own. It's like your bodies are finishing each other's sentences. From a psychological standpoint, this is reciprocal mirroring. Your nervous systems are synchronizing, reacting with warmth and curiosity rather than tension or retreat. If her touch makes you feel relaxed, alive, or even a little electrified, that's primal chemistry working exactly as nature designed it. Comment below. What's the most subtle touch that gave you butterflies, but you aren't sure why? Tell us your moment. Let's decode it together. Sign 22. You inch closer with every touch. It starts subtle. A brush of the hand. A shared law that leans your bodies closer. Her shoulder accidentally rests against yours. But here's what you don't notice in the moment. Neither of you moves away. In fact, you inch closer. And by the end of the evening, you're sitting almost thigh to thigh, breathing the same air. One move away from something you both feel but haven't said. Why this matters? This isn't just about physical space. It's about emotional momentum. According to behavioral psychology, this is called progressive proximity, where our bodies unconsciously move toward the source of emotional stimulation. You're not calculating it, you're feeling it. And that's the point. If her touches bring you closer, and yours do the same to her, you're both walking toward the edge of a kiss, even if no one takes that final step yet. Sign number 23. You think about your facial expressions too much. You catch yourself doing it, smiling more than usual, smoothing your face when she walks in, trying not to frown, even when distracted. You're suddenly very aware of your eyebrows, your lips, your laugh lines, and guess what? She's doing it too. She fixes her posture, adds a little more gloss, raises her eyebrows when you speak. But this isn't vanity. It's emotional camouflage. You both want to be seen, but only the best version of yourselves. That's the psychological effect of sexual tension. It triggers her performance instincts because we care about how we're perceived by someone who matters. Bonus insight. Increased facial expressiveness during attraction is linked to the limbic system, the brain's emotional center. It means your body is literally lighting up in her presence. So if you're suddenly smiling more, watching how she reacts, and feeling a flutter when she laughs at your grin, that's not nerves. That's bonding behavior. Sign number 24. You feel the pre-kiss gravity, but nobody moves first. This is the moment everyone remembers. The long pause, the sudden stillness in the air, the magnetic pull between two mouths just inches apart. You're not speaking. You're not even blinking, just breathing. And yet, it feels like something is happening, something real. Here's the psychological truth. Right before a kiss, the human brain produces a surge of dopamine and oxytocin. It's nature's way of rewarding anticipation. So when neither of you leans in, but both of you lean close, that tension becomes electric. It's not rejection. It's emotional respect. Both sides are waiting for the other to be sure. Want to know the deepest sign of sexual chemistry? It's not a kiss. It's themament before the kiss. When both hearts say yes, but the mouths, I just haven't caught up yet. Comment below. Have you ever felt that almost kiss moment? What held you back or made you go for it? Sign Tasher 25. You get butterflies, and so does she. You know the feeling. Your heart races. Your stomach flips. Your breath catches the moment she walks in. And you can't explain why, only that she affects you. This isn't just romantic fluff. It's biology. According to neuroscientists, butterflies in your stomach are caused by the release of adrenaline, the same hormone that activates your fight-or-flight response. But in this case, it's not fear. It's anticipation. It's longing. It's your body screaming, this person matters. And here's the beautiful twist. If she blushes when you make eye contact, if her laugh changes when you walk into the room, if she gets clumsy, breathless, or even avoids your gaze, she's feeling it too. Butterflies don't lie. They're the nervous system's way of saying, you found someone who excites your soul. Sign number 26. She's your emotional uplift around her. You feel lighter, happier, wittier, more alive. And the same happens to her. Even on a bad day, her smile lifts. Your voice gets warmer. Your jokes hit harder. This isn't a coincidence. It's emotional resonance. Psychologists call it limbic synchronization. When two people's emotional states begin to match and reinforce each other. If being near her feels like taking a breath of fresh air. If her laughter makes your day better. If her energy boosts yours without her even trying. That's not chemistry. That's the connection. And that connection, it's quietly saying this could be something real. Sign her 27. You're thinking about her even when she's not there. At this point, you've noticed it. You're in line at the store and think she'd laugh at this. You whore a song and feel her face in the lyrics. You finish a long day and she's the first person you want to tell. This is the final sign when physical. Closeness becomes emotional presence. When she's in your mind, even when she's miles away, when her absence feels louder than her voice. This is where a sexual tension transforms from fleeting attraction to emotional gravity. If you've been nodding throughout this video, if you've seen these signs, felt these moments, and wondered if it's just you, it's not. Sexual tension is real. It's powerful. It's emotional chemistry written into your nervous system. But here's the most important thing. If you ignore it, you risk losing something rare. If you nurture it, you could unlock something extraordinary. So the next time your body lights up, your voice softens, or your heart races just because she walked in, don't run from it, recognize it, respect it, maybe even act on it. Is the tension so strong? Isn't meant to last forever. It's meant to become something more. What sign hit you the hardest? Have you ever missed a connection because you didn't understand these signals? Like, subscribe, turn on the bell. Because of dark psychology, we don't ignore human behavior. We decode it. And this was your emotional edge. Until next time, stay sharp, stay intuitive, stay undeniable.